Education Bureau in collaboration with Addis Media Network. And I'm Marcel Mesfin teaching you this class. So today's lesson is apostrophe. But before we talk about apostrophe, let's go back to the earlier class and revise a few things of the earlier class. If you remember, our earliest class was about tag questions. We have said a few things about tag questions in our earlier class, and we also even revised a few things about tag questions. The first thing that we talked about tag questions is the rules. We have said one or two rules that you must follow when you are using or making tag questions. The first one is if the statement is positive, and then what comes after it should be what? Our tag question. Our tag question has to be negative. Negative tag question. So, don't forget, positive statement, and then we have a comma, and then we have a negative tag question. We also have a question mark at the end. Let's give an example. Statement has to be positive in the first one. They are here in the classroom. They are here in the classroom, comma. So since we have a positive statement, our tag question has to be negative. So they are here in the classroom. Aren't they? Is our tag question. This is the first rule. What about the second one? If the statement is negative, and then we'll have a comma after the statement, and then we'll have what? A positive tag question, ending with a question mark, okay? So this is the second most important rule when we are making tag questions. Let's give an example. Example, she cannot speak Spanish, comma, she cannot speak Spanish. So our statement is negative. Since our statement is negative, our tag question has to be positive. Can she? Can she? This is our tag question. Since this is negative, we made it positive. So these are the two most important rules that we talked about when we are making tag questions. We also talked about how we use tag questions with imperatives and also pronouns. When we are using it with imperatives, we have to use imperative statements. When we are using imperative statements, the action or the verb usually comes at the beginning of the statement. And that's how it becomes a command or a request. When we are using it with pronouns, on the other hand, when we are using tag questions with pronouns, we have to have the pronoun and the tag question have to agree. If we say she is, what comes in the tag question should be isn't she. If we use they are, what comes in the tag question has to be what? Aren't they? If we use they are not, what comes in the tag question will be are they? Positive, right? So these are the few things that we talked about last time when we talked about tag questions. So let's go to today's class. Today's class is apostrophe. Apostrophes. What are apostrophes? And how can we use them? When do we use them? So apostrophes are usually, this symbol is an apostrophe, right? And we use it after S or before S, depending on the situation. And also we use an apostrophe for contractions. When we want to contract words, we use an apostrophe. But today we're going to focus on possession of apostrophe. Possession. So what does it mean, possession? Possession means the having something or someone as yours or belonging to you. So this is possession. And in possession, we use a lot of time, almost all the time, we use apostrophes. So we use them. We use it. The first way we use an apostrophe is with singular, with a singular noun. Okay? With a singular noun. How do we use apostrophe with a singular noun? So every time we place an apostrophe, if it's a singular or a plural noun, it differs. The place where we place the apostrophe differs. So let's see an example. Singular noun. Example. The boys toys. Yes? So the boys here is singular, not plural, but singular. So if it's singular, we place the apostrophe, yes, after boy, and then we add S. So this shows the boys' toys. So boys here is what? Singular. It's only one boy, but we add an apostrophe, then S, to show what? His possession. He has different toys that he plays with, so we're talking about one single boy. So when we are talking about singular noun, we form the noun, and then we have apostrophe, and then plus we add S. This is how we form singular nouns and use them with apostrophe. Another one. The cars, comma, apostrophe and then S. The cars, seat. The car's seat. So in a car, you have a seat. And that car is singular. That car is singular. We're not talking about many cars. We're only talking about the car. Okay? The other one. The teacher. The teachers, in this case, why? Because we are giving that person something. The teacher's book. If I say, whose book is this? If I ask this question, and if that book belongs to the teacher, you would answer, it is the teacher's book. Your answer would be, it is the teacher's book. So it's not, when we say teachers, we're not talking about lots of teachers, but we're talking about a specific teacher, one teacher. So if that is the case, and if it's a singular noun, and then we use apostrophe first, and we add S after to show possession of that person's belongings, okay? This is how we use singular nouns with apostrophes. What about plural nouns? plural nouns. In the case of plural nouns, we have two rules because we have regular nouns and irregular plural nouns. The first one is if it is regular plural noun, if it is a regular plural noun, then when we form it, for example, the ending in regular plural nouns is what? S. The ending in regular pronouns, if it's S, yes, and then we add what? The apostrophe after the S, okay? We add the apostrophe after the S. But if it is irregular plural nouns, we'll get to it later. If it's irregular plural nouns, and then we will add what? Apostrophe first and then S, okay? We'll get to it later. But first, let's do the regular plural nouns. Example. The dogs balls, okay? The dogs balls. Here, dogs are what? Plural. They are plural and they have what? Because they are regular plural, they have S at the end. Dogs. So if that is the case, we add what? The apostrophe after dogs because they are many. Okay. Again, the teachers, here teachers are not one, but a lot of them. The teachers' lounge. The place where teachers sit and relax after their class is a place called a lounge. So the teachers here, since they are many, since they are plural, and since the noun here is regular noun, and it has S in it, we add apostrophe after the S or after the entire noun, okay? The students here, a lot of students, not one, but a lot of them. In the classroom, all of you in the class are called students. That means not only one or two, but a lot of you. So the students here, desks. The students' desk. So here, since this noun is plural with S, we add what? Apostrophe after the noun. This is the first way to use apostrophe with regular plural nouns. The second way of using it is when it is irregular plural nouns. If it is irregular plural nouns, then the nouns are not going to end with what? S. They're not going to end with S. They change their shape. So if that is the case, if the end is not S, if the ending is not S, and then we do what? First noun, and then apostrophe, and then S. This is the form of how we use apostrophe with irregular plural nouns. Let's give an example. The men is what? Plural. Man is what? Man is singular, right? But men are plural. So if this is plural, it is a plural, irregular plural noun. So the men, so how do we use possession here? We add apostrophe first, okay? We add apostrophe first, and then we add possession. The men's restroom. The men's restroom. First, we add what? First, we say men in its plural form, and then we add apostrophe, and then we use the possession S. Okay, the men's restroom. Okay, what else? What else? The children. The children, and then here children is plural, and it's an irregular noun, right? So if it is an irregular noun and if it is plural, then we add apostrophe again, and then S to show possession. The children's, again, it could be bedroom or toys. The children's bedroom. Okay, so don't forget, if it is regular plural nouns, we first write the noun in its full form, and then we add apostrophe later on to show possession. Again, when it is irregular plural nouns, we add, first we write the noun and then apostrophe, and then to show possession, we write S finally. So these are the important rules you must follow when you are using apostrophes. What other rule is important and that we should follow when we are using apostrophes? For example, apostrophes with nouns or pronouns, with possessive so far, when we were talking about plural and singular nouns, we used apostrophes to show possession of those nouns. The student's books, the teacher's lounge, the car seat. So we used apostrophe to show possession, the belonging of those people. But what about apostrophes with possessive pronouns? Do possessive pronouns need apostrophes in their sentences? Let's see it. Let's see it together. For example, this is his book. This is his book. So here we have what? A pronoun. Here we have a pronoun. But does this pronoun need an apostrophe here or here? No. Before S or after S? No. Why? Because this pronoun is what? A possessive pronoun on its own. So it does not need an apostrophe. So you must take care when you are writing a sentence using a possessive pronoun that you should not add apostrophe because it's not required, it's not needed, because the word on its own without any punctuation shows that it has possession. For example, another example. That is mine. Those shoes are hers. Yes? So if you see, these pronouns, they don't need apostrophe because they're showing possession on their own. So pronouns, possessive pronouns like my, mine, her, hers, their, theirs, our, ours, and the like. These are possessive pronouns on their own, so they do not need apostrophe to show possession. So they on their own can show possession, so we don't need to add an apostrophe. This is a very important rule that you must follow. So if you do this later on, for example, or if you do this, it is what? It is not correct. The correct form is writing it without, or putting it without apostrophe, okay? Another important thing that you must remember not to do, earlier on we were talking about what to do with apostrophes. So now we're talking about what not to do with apostrophes. The other important thing is with it's. The pronoun it's. So if you see the pronoun it's, it doesn't need what? Apostrophe. Because this and this are has two different meaning. This one is to show contraction, right? The first one is to show contraction, not possession. So in this class, we're talking about how we use apostrophe to talk about possession. But in this case, this one shows what? Contraction. What is it contracting? It is. This is what it's contracting. So if that is the case, we do not use this one to talk about possession. But this is the right form to talk about possession. For example, this is its leg. For example, here, it shows what? Possession instead of it is, it's showing what? Its leg. So it's showing something's possession. It could be, in this case, the dog's legs, right? So it is showing possession. So we don't need to add apostrophe E when it becomes possession, because it has, or it already shows possession on its own without adding apostrophe. These are the rules that you must remember not to do when you are using apostrophes. Let's do some quick examples. For example, if you remember the rules that I told you earlier, I want you to change these words into their apostrophe, their possession form. Okay, so can you change these three words? What are they? They are singular nouns, right? These are singular nouns. So I want you to change it to their possession form, okay? Their possessive form using apostrophe. How would you write it? I will give you a few seconds to finish this and we'll do it together. Okay, so I'm sure you all did really well, and it's very easy because since this is a singular noun and we're changing it to its possessive noun, we add what? First we add apostrophe and then we add S. Easy. Again, apostrophe S. Apostrophe S. Very easy, right? Okay, let's do another one. This time with plural nouns. Okay. Birds. Women. Children. Children and hens. Okay. So these are all what? Plural nouns. The above ones were singular nouns, but these ones are plurals. And I want you to make them or to change them into their possessive form. And I will give you again a few seconds to finish this and we'll do it together. So I'm sure you find this exercise very easy again, right? The first one, birds. Since this noun is what? A regular plural noun. A regular plural noun, meaning it has what? This is the noun on its own, bird, and then we add, it's already added S to show what? Plural. The plural form. It did not change its form, it only added S. So this is regular plural noun. So how do we use apostrophe? By adding apostrophe finally at the end, we show possession. The bird's nest. So we're showing what? Possession. Okay, what about in the second one? This word, on the other hand, unlike the first one, is what? It's still a plural noun, but it is irregular instead of regular. So we add what? Apostrophe first and then S to show possession, okay? Children, again, is what? The same like woman. It is an irregular plural noun. So to show possession, we add apostrophe and then S. Finally, pen. Hence, in this case, which is, pen is what? The regular noun and regular singular noun. It becomes, when it's pens, and then it becomes what? Regular plural noun. Plural because it has S. So, just like the first one, if you see here, like the birds, we add apostrophe after S. After S. So these are the rules that you must remember when you are doing apostrophes or when you are using apostrophes with nouns to show possession. Okay. Rewrite the sentences with the correct possessive form. The first one, this is her book. The cat's toy was lost. Number 3, the student's desk was neatly organized. Okay, so these are 3 questions I want you to do, and then we'll do it together, and I'll give you a few minutes to finish this. Okay, finally you have done it, and I'm sure it's easy, and let's do it together. The first one, is it correct? The sentence, is it correct? No, it's not, because when we're showing possession, we said last time, if you remember, we don't need to add apostrophe when we are using possessive pronouns. So here, we don't need to add apostrophe, and so what we're doing when we rewrite it is, this is her book. This is her book. The second one is, this is her book. Okay, so the second one, the cat's toy was lost. So where do we put the apostrophe? Since we're talking about one cat, it is what? It is cat, and then apostrophe, and then we show possession of that cat. Okay, number 3, the students' desks was neatly organized. Here, students are many, so in order to show that, what do we do? And it is, students are plural in its plural form, and it is what? Regular noun. So we add apostrophe after the S. And this is how you use apostrophes to show possession. I'm sure you all have gotten a lot of things in this class, and as always, you will use what you learned in your everyday life so that you can improve your language skills. I was Masal Misfin teaching you this class. Thank you all for tuning in, and I hope you come and see us next time. Goodbye.